So in this section I'm going to talk about foam rolling. Now most people's reaction to foam, when you mention foam rolling, is, oh my god, I hate them. But that generally is because a lot of people just inflict a lot of pain on themselves when you're foam rolling, and that should not be the case. Foam rolling should not be agony. If it's agony, you've got the wrong type of foam roller and your technique isn't quite correct. Okay, so these are the most common types of foam rollers you can get. This is probably the one that most people know about. This one's still in a plastic container, it's new, that's why it's all shiny. So this is one of the, it's pretty rock hard, it's got bumps on it and it's short. This is the one people tend to take when they're going away on holidays or they're going away to train for running or cycling or something like that. If you've got really soft, stretchy, supple muscles, then this isn't going to be too much agony. But for the majority of people, it's absolute hell. So there's something to work up towards if you really want to be able to do that. Okay, so this is the Rolls Royce of foam rollers. I love this and most people love it. Primarily, okay, it's a short one and it looks pretty rock hard, but it's a vibrating foam roller. This is a pulse roll. It's not cheap, it's over 100 quid, but it's the Rolls Royce, as I said before. It's got, it's rechargeable and it's got a control thing on the side here, so I'll show you it. You can, I like it on the fastest speed, so you're going 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's really, really nice. I'll put it on the floor and you'll see it just runs around all over the place. But by gum, it's really comfortable to use. So if you've got very, very painful muscles, I would highly recommend one of these. But as I said before, they're not cheap. So the foam roller that most people would end up with is one like this. Now, this is my favourite foam roller, and this is the one that I always use. This one is it's non-slip surface. It's still a little bit squashy. Well, not that squashy, but it's a bit squashy. But this one I've had for at least 8 years and it's still going really strong. So this isn't the cheapest of them. You can get really cheap ones. They are not great because they don't last very long. If you want it to last for a few months, then yeah, go and get an £8 one from a catalogue or online somewhere. But if you want something decent that's going to last a bit longer, you can get some that are okay. They're probably sort of 18 to 20 quid-ish, but this one's a bit more. This is probably about 25, I can't remember offhand now, but these are my favourite ones. So this is made by a company called Sissel, Swedish company, and these are the ones I recommend. Now, it's long because it can be used for massaging your legs, but it can also be used for Pilates. And most people know I use these for my Pilates classes. If you want to use it for stretching your upper back and your shoulder girdle, then it's perfect for that too. You can't do that sort of thing on a short one. Okay, so I'm going to show you first of all about massaging your legs to get the right technique so it's not too much pain, and then we'll go into some stretching of your upper back and your shoulders. Now, the reason foam rolling mustn't be painful is because if you react to pain, everybody does, when you react to pain, your muscles tighten up. The whole point of this is to loosen and stretch and mobilise your muscles and to get them more supple. So if you inflict pain on yourself, your muscles are just going to tighten up, they're going to be hard, and when you foam roll, it'll be even more painful, and what you're actually doing is bruising and damaging the muscles. So please don't inflict loads of pain on yourself. Okay, so that's a good reason not to use one of those short, hard ones unless you're quite happy with it and your muscles are used to it. Okay, so we're going to start with one of these. So I'm going to lie it down sideways and I'm going to show you how to do your legs. Now, everybody wants to massage their ITBs. Well, your ITB, okay, yeah, it needs to be supple, but you can't really stretch your ITB. Your ITB is a thick band of tendon, basically, which comes from to the side of your knee. Stand up, it attaches at the side below your knee, and then it comes up the side. So it's a really tough band that comes up here. When it gets to about this level, it is joined into some muscles. So it comes into the muscle that comes up to the bony bit at the front of your hip there, goes down there, it's called tens fascia lata, and then that comes down and joins into your ITB. The other big muscle that one of the layers of your glute max comes into it. So you've got two muscles which come like this and they form a type of a pulley system really. It's a vector of force, if for those of you that are into that sort of thing. So it pulls up here. So it's like somebody's pulling on your trousers. That's what it does. So the muscles pull that way on your ITB. So this bit is rigid. If you were to dissect it out of your body, attach it to the ceiling and hang on it, you wouldn't be able to stretch it, even with your whole body weight. So if somebody tells you they're stretching their ITB, they're not at all. Your ITB attaches, the lowest part attaches to the bone itself of your leg, your femur here, and it blends with your side of your quads and it blends with the side of your hamstrings. So when you're massaging here, you're actually loosening off the attachments of where it comes into your hamstrings and where it comes into your quads. And then higher up, you need to massage here. Now, the muscles that come into the into your ITB at the top there, so your tensor fasciae lata here and your glute max here, they're the things that you need to loosen off and stretch to give you a bit more freedom of movement here. If everything is tight, it pulls on your knee. So the tension here pulls up here, like somebody's pulling on your trousers or pulling up your tights, pulls on the attachment here, it squashes the side of your knee, gives you knee pain, and continues to pull up here like somebody pulling up your trousers. Okay, so this is where you need to concentrate on loosening the muscles, but this needs a bit more flexibility too. So in order to do that, I get everyone to do 3 stripes. You do a roll up the front, so it's, think of seam of your trousers as the actual band. So you're thinking seam of trousers to front and coming up that section. Then you're going to do seam of trousers to back, which is your side of your hamstring, and you're coming up that section. And then you can go up the side where everything joins together if you really want to and inflict pain on yourself. But the bit you want to concentrate on is the bit up here where that muscle is attached here. You're going to loosen off that muscle, and you're also going to loosen your big bum muscle because those are the ones that need to be freed up. Okay, so there's 3 lines of stretch that I get everyone to do. So if you lie down on your side, okay, you're going to take body weight through your elbow and through the other leg. This is not fun, right? This is just pain, right? That's not important. We're going to take weight on your elbow, take the other foot forward, so your body weight is going through the front foot, through this elbow, and then you can put your hand on the floor as well. So the first line of massage, you take the foot forwards and you let your body come forwards a little bit, and then you can roll all the way up to your hip and then all the way down, walk on your arms so that it comes down to just above your knee. Okay, so you start just above your knee, up and down here. So just use your arms to push your body up and down, and then you're coming up. So that's the first one. And when you get to the top here, that's where you can massage into your tensor fasciae lata. So you just rock forwards and backwards like that. You're loosening off that tensor fasciae lata there, so keep that roll out of the way. So you're just rocking forwards and backwards. So you're massaging and stretching out the muscle in that direction. And then you can just rock up and down on it there and stretch it out that way. Okay, now you're going to do the same thing on the back of the leg. So then you're going to step backwards and tip your pelvis back the way. And now you're massaging into your bum, right into your glute. So you're taking all the way up to the top of your pelvis and then all the way down into the fleshy part of your bum. So you're still taking weight through your elbow here and through this leg. Okay, so you're going into your bottom, up and down there. And then you want to rock, go side to side like this. So you're getting into the muscle, stretching the fibres in a different direction. And the same thing up a little bit, and the same thing down a little bit. Okay, and then you're going to come down, all the way down your leg, and you can go up and down the side of your hamstring. So up and down in here as many times as you want, but stop just below the bone. So you're not going to rub over the bone. If you rub over the bone, you're going to give yourself a bursitis. So down to the back of your knee, up and down there. And then if you really want to get into your ITB, you want to go stop at the bony bit that sticks out there on the side of your leg, and then again move up and down using your foot and your hands up and down. It's quite hard work, and this in itself can be pretty painful. So just going up and down a few times, as often as you really want. If you find a nasty tight bit, you can just rock on it or stay on it for a little bit and then go down. Okay, so you've massaged into those legs, and obviously do the same on the other side. I'm not going to do the other side, I'll just show you what to do for your quads. So obviously for your quads you can do the same thing. So you're going to line your tummy on your elbows and you start just above your knees, and then you just walk on your arms and go up and down your leg. So going up to the front of your hips and then walk on your elbows up and down. Now remember, you've got inner and outer hamstrings, so you want to, instead of just going straight up and down, you also want to go side on. So you want to go sideways to your knees and that way. So inside of one leg and outside of the other leg, up and down, and then turn to the other side, up and down there, down, up to your hip, and then up and down. So just as far as you want to do. And then you can just lie here, and to give your quads a bit more of a stretch, you just bend a knee and bend a knee. And you're in a nice planky type position here, so you're working your core at the same time. So you can bend your knees, and then you can move it down a little bit more. Same thing, bend your knee and bend your knee. So that's quite a nice way of really stretching out your quads. And then walk a bit further up, and same thing, so you're stretching it above your knee, middle of your knee, and higher up, so you're going up and down. Okay, that's fine. So you can also do your hamstrings, obviously. Just sit on it, the same thing. So sit on it and just walk all the way up to your bum and all the way back. So just you can do that as often as you want, up and down, half a dozen or once or twice, whichever you prefer. Same again, you need to tip sideways, so you're going up and down. It can be a bit awkward. So inside of one leg, outside of the other leg, and then turn and do the inside of the other leg, swap over, up and down, as often as you want. And again, if you find a sore bit, stay on it. This bit up here tends to be the sorest bit, where your glute comes into your ITB. And then the same for your calves. So you just pop it underneath your calves and do the same thing. So you're just lifting up onto your knuckles or wherever you fancy, and forwards and back, doing your calves, and then turn your legs sideways, up and down. Same thing, into the fleshy bit of your calf. Feet face the other way, so you're doing the other side of your calf muscles. And then back to the centre. This is lovely with a pulse roller, I'll just tell you that for now. Fantastic to loosen off tight calves, especially after you've been doing a lot of running or a lot of sport and you're absolutely shattered. Lovely for your calves. Okay, I often stand on them as well in my classes, but I'm not going to show you that because I don't want anybody to break the neck. Okay, so now we're going to show you what you can do to loosen off your shoulders and upper back. So this is great if you've been sitting at a desk all day, or if you're about to do something like tennis or golf, or something that needs a nice flexible upper back. So you just sit on the end of your foam roller. This is why you need a really long one. You drop your head down and make sure your head is supported on the roller. It must be supported on the roller. Okay, so this should feel lovely. I really like doing this. So we're going to stretch the arms up to the ceiling, and we're going to focus on loosening our upper spine and our shoulder girdle. So your chin is in, you're nodding your chin and you're looking up to the ceiling. You're just going to stretch one arm up and down, and then the other one. So we're going to do a few of these. I'm going to carry on and talk at the same time. And stretch. So we're going loosening off those shoulders. The shoulder blades are moving around your chest wall. So it's really nice for loosening off anybody that does anything to do with the shoulders, even if you're fly fishing, if you're shooting a gun and shooting a rifle, anything at all that involves using your shoulders and upper body. Also really nice for desk workers, rugby players, anybody that gets a bit stiff in their upper back. Both hands up and down to the ceiling. Now as you drop back, your shoulder blade drops down, okay, up and down. And while you're doing this, you're moving the joints where the ribs come into the spine as well, and loosening your upper back. So it's a really nice thing to do. Then I like to do one arm up, one arm down, and one arm up, one arm down. So if you've been sitting at your desk for hours, or watching films on the telly, or you're just generally fed up being in the house for too long in this lockdown period, then just have a go at this and you will feel much better. If you don't have a foam roller at home, you can get a big bath towel and roll it up into a sausage, or you might even need to roll 2 bath towels up and roll them into a big sausage. But it does need to go from your pelvis up to the back of your head, okay, nice and long. Okay, now 2 hands above your head and up, and both hands on the floor. 2 hands above your head. So you're stretching. We're not doing Pilates at the moment, we're just stretching. And now you really want to try and get your thumbs on the floor. And then we're going to open the arms wide to the side. So backs of your hands on the floor and put your elbows down on the ground. And you get a really nice chest stretch. So this is fab for anybody who's sitting at a desk for hours on end. And then bend your elbows and reach up to the ceiling. You'd be surprised how many people can't even get their elbows on the ground with this. Or even their head on the roller. In which case you might need a little cushion under your head. But try and get your head down on the roller so you're stretching your neck. This is really important for people that, ladies particularly, that have got osteoporosis as well. It's a really good way of loosening off your upper back. Okay, and then we're going to do a snow angel, well, a carpet angel really. You're going to take your arms wide to the side, turn your hands over, and then bring your hands down either side of your hips. Repeat that, open out to the side, turn your palms to the base of the ceiling, arms up above your head, keep your thumbs on the floor above your head there. Hands on the floor, open wide, turn your hands over, bring your hands down either side of your hips, and then arms out, palms over, arms up above your head, fingertips together. So you've got a really nice stretch there. Great. Okay, so now I'm going to show you a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, so I'm going to lift my bum off the roller. So the easiest way to do this is to put your hand on the end underneath your bottom. Right, now lift your bum in the air, pull the roller out, and then put your bottom on the floor. And when you do that, the roller should be the back of your rib cage. Or if you're using a rolled up towel, then you can do that. Now you can use pillows for this as well if you don't have a foam roller. So a pillow or two would be fine for doing this as well. And if you have got a very stiff back, you might want to start with something a bit more gentle, like a pillow. But you can also use the overballs that I was using previously, or if you've got a spare, you can use your yoga mat. If you've got a spare yoga mat or any type of a mat, even a camping mat, you can roll that up into a sausage and use that too. So for this one, fingertips at the back of your head, so that you're not going to pull on your neck because you're just going to hurt it. Fingertips here, elbows wide. Now this you can, I do use in my Pilates classes, you already should be using your abs here. Okay, so you're centering, pelvic floor lift, tummy in, like we talked about before. So your chin is in, you're looking straight ahead, and you're going to just bend backwards, drop your head backwards over your roller, take a breath in at the bottom, and then chin in and blow as you come up. And drop back. You can also do this over a big physio ball. We do that in our classes too. And then chin in, blow, come up. And stretch your arms forwards, get your abs working a bit more. Fingers behind your head, bend backwards. So you're dropping your head down towards the floor. Now it's really important that you don't have the roller across the back of your waist because that's just going to be painful. You don't want to squash your kidneys. It's your upper back you're trying to stretch. Your upper thoracic spine and your ribs. You're trying to get that nice and flexible. Okay, and when you've done it a few times, you can stretch your arms and put your hands on the floor. Now obviously I'm quite bendy, I can get my hands on the floor and I can just about, I've got my head on the floor as well. So that's what you can aim for. But definitely start with pillows first if this is uncomfortable. And then put your hands behind your head and then chin in and blow as you come up and come up. And then if you want to do some Pilates, we do lifting up and down and down. But I'll be doing a class with a foam roller later on. Okay, forget that for now. And one more stretch. Back over the roller. Breathing in at the bottom. And then chin in, blow as you come up. And back. Blow as you go down. Breathing in at the bottom. And then chin in, blow as you come up. And stretch. Lovely. Okay, so there's a few things you can do with a foam roller. So I think everybody should have a foam roller, and if you want one, this is the one to get. Or so if you've got really tight muscles because you do a lot of running in your sport, then I would highly recommend you got a pulse roll. Okay, that's great. Hopefully you know what you're doing now and make sure you don't inflict pain on yourself. Okay, I'll speak to you again next time. Bye for now.